So, have you been looking for a reliable subwoofer enclosure manufacturer to help supply your need? Well, have you heard about King Boxes? Today on Connected, we're covering one of the hottest players in this market when it comes to subwoofer enclosures, and they're based out of Alabama. It's called King Boxes, and we're going to tell you what it's all about. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about King Boxes. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and you are locked into CMA Networks, where we talk mobile electronics day in and day out. Today is a little bit of a different one. We're talking accessories, and when it comes to enclosures, it's certainly something that all of our dealers are looking for. The challenge? Who's the right one to pick? Well, today we're going to introduce you to a relatively new company based in the South that has been hard at work providing some new solutions when it comes to the latest subwoofer enclosure needs. Joining me now is JAYSAM ODEH, who is the owner. JAYSAM, welcome to Connected. What are we going to be covering on today's show?
Hey, Ben, thank you so much for having us on here, man. We're excited to showcase all of our new enclosures, some of our hot enclosures, especially the one right here in front of me. Let's talk about it.
Ooh, that is something that we can't wait to dig into. But first, an opportunity for our partner, SiriusXM, to remind you why it's always a great add-on sale. And when we come back after the break, let's talk about King Boxes. See you after the break.
Hey, Paul here with SiriusXM, and I'd like to talk to you about attachment selling and why the SiriusXM product is one of the best things to add, especially since we don't trade dollars with any other category. I could go through all of this, but let's hear what some of our dealers have to say.
It's an easy add-on that takes, 10, 15 minutes if we're running an antenna, 1 minute if we've got an adapter to plug it into the factory SiriusXM antenna, and it's extra money, so no-brainer.
I present it to every customer because a lot of customers don't know what all they can do with Sirius. They don't know what all content they could have. It just makes too much sense not to sell it.
It creates a different customer loyalty and customer security when you explain to them why it's a better experience. Just gets them back in the door, and then the next car, they're already asking for it again. So it just keeps selling itself. It makes more sense.
Well, there you have it. You heard from our dealers. Just remember some of the best practices. Make sure you have one on display so you can demo it. Make sure you're taking advantage of our rewards program, because if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving even more money on the table. Make sure you got our POP up on display. And other than that, just make sure you're recommending it.
And we're back after the break. Hey, JAYSAM, welcome again to the show. Really excited to have you here. Now, to start the show off right, for one, I'm going to raise my hand. I admit I didn't know about you until very recently. So I want to take this opportunity to kind of ask you, how long has King Boxes been around, and how did you get into this business?
So, King Boxes has been around for just around 5 years now. I started this company when I was only 19 years old, believe it or not, and I'm 24 now. We've been in business for 5 years. My family's owned a retail store for roughly 25 years. So I grew up in the industry, and I felt like there was something lacking in this industry that needed to be filled. And that was subwoofer enclosures. It needed that young energy. It needed that young mindset. And here we are with King Boxes, baby.
Amazing. I love the energy coming from you. And of course, my eyes are set on what we're about to talk about here. But first, help us understand the business model. So you recognize that there was a need within the industry for enclosures. What was it exactly that you felt needed to be improved?
Honestly, Ben, I felt like quality and price. Not a lot of people just want to spend money on a box just to say they have a box. People want the quality box. People want the enclosure that they want to look good in their car. And that's what we came in. That's where we came at. Customer support too. We want to make sure customers and dealers feel appreciated, that they have us on their side, protecting them and protecting their products that they have in stock.
All right. Well, let's get into it now that we understand King Boxes. I'm going to say 5 years is a little bit of time, but still kind of fresh by car audio standards. But it looks like we have a lot to talk about. Starting first with what I'm going to say is an RGB illuminated box that looks very, very attractive. I'm going to let you go on this. Why don't you talk to us a little bit more about this RGB enclosure?
So, Ben, this box speaks for itself. I mean, look at it. It lights up any color you want. It's ran off an app, and it's simple connection. Just a positive and a ground, and boom, it's connected. We currently offer this in for six vehicles: Ford F-150 09 and up, and F-250 350 17 and up, 4.8s and 2.8s. We also offer this in a 2007 and 2018 Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra Crew Cab, 4.8s and 2.8s. And we also offer this for a 2019 and up Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra 4.8s and 2.8s. It's braced in the middle, has ports on the side, has a wood grain finish on the front where you can remove and do whatever you like with it. If you want to wrap it a different color, change it a different color, by any means, you're more than welcome to. And then the lights is built into this grill right here. It also has a gray leather finish, smooth, clean, and boom. Then you also have the King Boxes logo right here. The cool thing about it is the RGB logo module is built in to the logo. So you don't have to do anything. And if you wanted to, you can always pop out our module and pop out the logo and put your own logo on there if you wanted.
Well, first of all, JSAM, I have to say that is a very attractive looking package. Now, I wanted to mention a couple key details, maybe not specific to this model, but I think that all our listeners need to understand when it comes to the type of standard quality that King Boxes puts forth in their boxes. For example, that finish on there, it looks like a bed liner finish, but it looks much smoother than what I'm used to seeing. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Correct. So all this is, Ben, is just a black spray paint from the manufacturer. It's a smooth black finish. It's not rough. It's not bulky or anything. It looks good. It looks clean, and you can do whatever you please with it.
Now, another thing that I notice here is the inside, and that's great that we actually see the construction. So unlike other boxes, from what I understand, you're using some pretty good materials as far as the front fascia. And talk to us a little bit about how these seams and the construction comes together.
So, Ben, like we said before, our enclosures are stapled and glued. They're braced. We use true MDF wood. These enclosures can't go anywhere. We bench test our enclosures before we even ship them to dealers and distributors. And believe it or not, this enclosure right here can hold 800 RMS per hole. So we're known for holding base.
All right, JSAM, we're going to run through a couple key models like we promised. As you can see, we started with that RGB, really beautiful. But let's be honest, bread and butter, right, for car audio shops. You need those dual, 12 inches. I think that's what this is. The model is called the D12 DSV, and I'm going to guess this is a very popular model for you. Why don't you talk to us about it?
Thank you, Ben. So yes, this is the D12 DSV model. So a lot of shops are used to their dual 12 port in the middle enclosure. So what we decided was, hey, why won't we do divided chambers in the center, or in the middle, 1 inch front face, 3 1/4 in the rest, silver spring terminal cups, and this box is tuned to 37 hertz, and we've tested it. It can hold up 2,000 watts RMS per chamber, and we've tested it already.
I like the fact that you mentioned that the terminals that come standard on King boxes are those silver spring terminals and not the cheapy, push pin ones that honestly I hate and most people hate as well. So that's a really cool feature. The other thing I want to ask you though about these, when it comes to popularity, what have you seen? Are people more, leaning towards the ported box because they're looking for that output, or are they looking for that sealed? Which one would you say is more popular?
100% the ported, 100%.
All right, if you're just tuning in, we are talking with JAYSAM ODEH, who's the owner of King Boxes, a relatively new supplier and manufacturer of subwoofer enclosures. We've seen some pretty cool models from an RGB under seat, 2 or 4 configuration truck type box. Of course, we covered a dual 12, which is obviously a bread and butter kind of piece. But we also have headliner as a different category. And I see, JAYSAM, you have another model here that we want to talk about.
So, Ben, this is the AK-UNIV 465-235. This is a headliner enclosure that can go in any truck you want. It holds 4 6.5s, 2 bullet tweeters, and it's made out of ABS plastic, so you don't lose any weight on your headliner, and boom, it stays in place.
Jay, help me understand this one, because this is a little bit new for me, and maybe because I'm too far north. But is this a thing in the South where guys actually want to put speakers above with bullet tweeters blaring at them?
It is, man. So a lot of people in the South love these headliner enclosures. They really target the Hispanic market right now. Pro audio is the next big thing. Look at it. You can put 4 6.5s, 2 tweeters, hey, jam out and rock out.
That's literally like very overpowering, but I get it. If that's what you want, you obviously have the solution for that. And you mentioned something I want to talk about. How much of that, the enclosures that you're selling these days is going towards that pro audio market?
I would say pro audio enclosures is honestly about 25% of our business nowadays. People want the center consoles. People want headliner boxes. People want kick panels. Pro audio is taking over the game right now, and we're seeing it in broad daylight.
Yeah, I would absolutely recommend if you guys are kind of getting into that pro audio scene, get yourself one of these guys, put that on display, and
Yep,
leave it to the imagination for the customers coming into the shop.
exactly.
So as you heard from JSAM himself, pro audio is definitely on the uprise. And while we're on that, we're going to also cater to another type of market, which is also looking for that quick solution, a ready to go box to slap in a giant heavy duty subwoofer in there and give it lots of power. But you can't do that with just any enclosure. Well, not to worry, because Kingbox has already thought of that and is catering to this market with what we're about to present here. This is a single 12-inch enclosure, but meant for SPL application. And JSAM, it looks really different because, well, it's orange.
So Ben, like you said, the box is orange. But hey, when you put a system in your car, you don't just want to sound noticeable. You want to look noticeable. When people pop the trunk, they're going to see a bright orange leather face in their face, given the sound that they want. This enclosure is 1 inch all the way around. It's tuned down to 36 hertz. It's 3.5 cubic feet and can withhold 3,500 watts RMS. And like we said before, we've tested it and we know it can because we're the best, baby.
Now, I got to say, I've seen a lot of universal boxes in the past, Jay, but this is different. Like, this is absolutely built for very specific purpose. I mean, I think this is a great message here that King Boxes is not just making universal boxes. You're making boxes for every type of listener.
That's correct, Ben. We're trying to cater to as many different genres as we can. The regular, the SPL, the pro audio, and we've just defined everything today. What else could we do?
I want to take this opportunity and thank JAYSAM ODEH for joining us from King Boxes today. Now, if you're interested in finding out more, and I'm sure you are, definitely go check out the website, king-boxes.com. They have an entire catalog of all different types of enclosures, a few of which we showed on today's show. But definitely, if you're looking for a new supplier or one that you're discovering for the first time, King Boxes might just be the one for you. Now, my takeaway, I'm very impressed with this young man. Obviously very dedicated, obviously very passionate, but he's recognized something, and he's recognized the need to create the enclosure solutions that customers are looking for. You heard him talk about pro audio, a hot rising segment. The SPL category, man, 1 inch MDF, heavy duty, 3,500 watts. And if you're looking for solution type things, whether it's under seat or whatever that was to put bullet tweeters above your head, they've got that covered as well. So do me a favor, head on over to King Boxes, give Jay a call, and maybe this might be a great new resource for your store. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.